Me go take time. Anything great, they go take time. They talking shit, I go check on. Me mommy say, get just take time, take time. Me go take time. Anything great, they go take time. They talking shit, I go check on. Me mommy say, get just take time, take time. Yeah, I'ma take time. And you hear me, yeah. I ain't in a rush, head on my league, I'ma take time. I ain't even tripping now. I ain't even tripping now. I'ma take time. And you hear me, yeah. I ain't in a rush, head on my league, I'ma take time. I ain't even tripping now. Already know I'ma get mine. Taking me time, never in a rush.
50%.
50%.
50%. Did you know that if you're between the ages of 18 and 35, you're 10 times more likely to die from a car crash?
Increase your odds by 50%.
Just by wearing a seatbelt.
It can make the difference between living or dying.
I know this.
We know this.
Do you?
So click it or ticket. In Rhode Island, it's the law. Seatbelts save lives.
Scully White back again. No more original. From a scupper down. It's what we scupper down. Happy back girl. Back girl. Me go take time.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of Africa Teaching, a production of the Pepperbird Magazine and Chesson Worldwide 360. I'm Karen McLaurin Chesson, your host. We have a young woman who has touched the lives of many throughout the Liberian and African and Rhode Island community. She's a mom, she's a wife, she's a daughter, she's a parishioner, she's just touches a lot of folks through her experiences and her business adventures. So without further ado, I'd love to introduce to you Michelle Berry-Davidson.
Hello, and thank you, Ms. Chesson. It is an honor to be with you this afternoon and this opportunity to be able to interview with you today.
Well, we're delighted, and we want to share you with the rest of the community and world, Michelle, because of the significant things that you're doing. So with that said, could you share with our viewers your professional experiences and how the community has benefited from all these adventures?
Sure. So the first thing I would say as a Liberian, I think that talking about how I came to be, I think is very important to your audience. I came to this country at the age of 4 years old. I started out in Brooklyn, New York. I lived in some of the worst housing projects you can imagine. We came here, my mom and I, we were undocumented. And during that time in my life, I saw my mom endure poverty like I can't explain to you. By the time I was 7 years old, I remember watching shows like Matlock to figure out how to become a lawyer to be able to take my family out of the economic situation I found themselves in. One of the memories that still stick with me today was around 6 years of age. I remember my mother asking around for $5 to get me medication because I was ill. And with that said, she always said to me, Michelle, I want you to have the life I didn't have. I wanted you to have the opportunities I didn't have. So watching a mom with a fierce work ethic maneuver through the United States and the systems, fight for her family and fight for her children, she inspired me to not just support community, but she inspired me to maximize my potential. And so my career, we talk about my journey. I've been in the finance industry for over 18 years. All of that started for me at the University of Maryland, College Park. I took an economics class and I said, if my people and my community only knew what I just experienced in this classroom. So I came home and I've been on a mission since then. Since 1999, I've been on a mission since coming back to Rhode Island. And that mission was this: how do I then pour into others what I began to understand and experience? So with that piece, I started first with my mother, help guide her through the home ownership process. Very soon I will become a homeowner myself and own a few properties. And for the last 18 and a half years, I've served the community in the area of home financing. Over 2,300 people put into homes over my tenure so far.
That's amazing.
And in 2012, after having kids and doing some other things, I realized that it was my responsibility and also part of my assignment to coach and train others to maximize their potential. So I became a Christian certified life coach and started doing some work around an organization called Dare to Dream, really helping take women to their next level, because we all, I believe, are positioned here on purpose and we all have an assignment. So if we all do our part, we turn, our lives and our communities into something very prosperous and something that we can be inspired by.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
I'm really surprised. Now, that's one area I didn't know that you were doing.
Oh, wow.
So could you just, so in thinking about the essence of what you're trying to do, how did you actualize it? How did you make that happen? How did you pull these women together?
Sure. So for the way I tell people, and I say this to every woman or every man, it starts with you. So in order for people to follow you, you first have to lead by example. So the women and the people that I had the pleasure of working with, they've watched my journey. They've seen my humble beginnings, they've seen the work ethic, they've seen the strategic planning, they've seen the setting of goals, and then they've seen the execution. So when you watch someone's life and you can follow their journey and can see the fruit of what they're speaking,
Yes.
you make the goal, the dreams, and the vision of an organization real for people, that they can grasp it. This location that we're sitting in right here, this actually is where I began in the mortgage industry. At the age of 28, I decided that I wasn't just going to go into financing, but I was going to live this thing. So I bought this building that we're sitting in today. I used to be a broker here. I was with Trinity Mortgage Solutions. So as a broker, I worked here for over 6 years.
Okay.
I rented out this location, and then just recently, in September actually, I was able to gut out this whole building and open up a restaurant that my mother and I own. And we made sure that we took the time to develop an environment that really honored our community, honored our culture. Again, everything that I'm speaking and teaching to others, they're seeing me live it out.
Yes.
So when you live it out,
Yes.
there's a whole nother level of credibility
Yes.
to help people. So I'm doing that, and I'm also coaching a lot of individuals now on how to reach a place of financial freedom. So I'm teaching folks, everyday people, whether you're a housekeeper or cab driver or a professional that feel tied to your job. How do we take you to a place of financial freedom that you can live out your dreams?
Yes.
And so for me, I'm living life on assignment.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. Now, do you hold those groups regularly, or are they on a one-on-one basis,
So,
or a mixture of both?
good question. Well, just so you know, last year, 2018, I took a little break for a few years. I was finishing up an advanced degree in strategy. So I have a Master's of Science in Leadership, specializing in strategy and change management. Because in order for you to do the type of work that I'm looking to do and the impact I'm looking to make, I want to take the time to gain the knowledge and education and really sharpen my skills.
Yes.
And so I took a break from that. We actually are so excited because we're in the process of a relaunch. So I'm actually relaunching and branding Michelle Davidson.
Okay.
And so with that process, we're actually, our first major event is going to happen on May 22nd of 2020. At that time, there's going to be a real, the name of the event actually is called Women That Are Purposely Positioned. So we're now talking about women in all spheres of professional influence, where in everywhere that we are planted, we are purposely positioned to make an impact. So we're bringing those women together in a group setting. We're going to celebrate them. We're going to have them take the runway because our events are fun.
Yes.
We celebrate marriages. All of this is grounded in my faith. I'm a woman of faith, and I believe that I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. And so with that being said, I believe we can touch the government in this state. We can touch the education sphere in this state. You know, I was part of the Providence review team, being a voice of change, and continuously still work with folks in the education field, although that wasn't necessarily my background. But the fact that I put so many people into homes, their children are attending these schools.
Yes.
So everywhere my customers and my community is impacted, I believe is my responsibility
Okay.
to make a change or help to guide that change in the right direction.
Amazing.
Yes.
So now, your roots are from Liberia.
Yes.
How do you envision making a difference in Liberia?
So let's talk about that. So I have this project on my heart, a project that I'm so heartily looking to birth, and it's called the Dream Center International.
Okay.
That project will be birthed in Liberia. That project would take the coaching and mentoring and then entrepreneur skills to the country. We're going to start with our young people. So this is something, when I talk about building a legacy of financial freedom, when I talk about coaching and developing individuals to have the financial resources
Yes.
to birth vision,
Yes.
I'm working on that now. So by next year, I'm building a certain level of increase so that I can be able to expand and be able to touch the international world, and definitely Liberia being one of the places on my heart.
That's amazing and very important. So, Michelle, tell us about Glorious.
Glorious West African cuisine. So I don't know about you, but it's just very important to me when people come to Providence, when people think about the Liberian community, I want them to be proud. When people walk into this place, I want them to say, I'm well represented.
Yes.
So Glorious West African cuisine, this is beyond just great food, which you'll find here.
Yes.
It's about an environment and an atmosphere. When you come in, you feel a sense of pride as an African or person of color.
Yes.
Because this place belongs to the community.
Yes.
Although by the grace of God, it was birthed with the help of my mother, family members, this place belongs to the community. This is a place when you come in, you say, yes, I'm at home, and truly, God is glorified in this place because there's excellence in this place.
Yes.
And so this is what Glorious represents for us. This is what Glorious represents for our state and represents for our country.
Well, that's amazing. And do you do catering?
We do large orders, anything that you would like for your upcoming events with catering and anything like that, we'd love to be a part of. We'd love to help, really impact your events and make it all that you desire it to be and bring the excellence of cuisines to your event.
Wow. So could you just let our viewers know the location of Glorious and the contact name and number to reach?
Absolutely. So if you're in the Providence area or ever visiting Rhode Island, please come to Glorious West African Cuisine, located at 1230 Elmwood Avenue in Providence, Rhode Island. We are really close to Roger Williams Park. Our website is gloriousafricanfood.com. You can take a look at our menu. You can take a look at different specials and things that we do here. You can learn a little bit more about the chef. Also, if you'd like to call us, feel free to do so at 401-228-7070.
Thank you, Michelle. So, just as I think about how you truly, I generally express that, you concretely express how you want to and have been making a difference in the lives of other people. So, do you have a message to our audience as to, now that you have walked in the shoes that you have walked, how they too can be empowered to make a difference, not only in their own lives, but in their communities?
Absolutely. I would say this. You have to make up your mind. What do I mean by that? I made up my mind that I wanted to be a symbol of hope. I wanted to be a symbol of inspiration. I wanted to touch my community. I wanted to touch the generations behind me. I wanted to inspire my elders. I wanted to let them know that their labor was not in vain. So the work and the backs of those that we have climbed on to get to this place, all that you have invested in us was not in vain. So the way we do that, we take life and we live it intentionally. We say today, I have a sphere of influence. I have people that I'm able to touch and feel. I have a family that I'm able to groom and children. I'm able to inspire to whether it be higher education or certain trades that can benefit their lives. I'm going to do that really, really well. I'm going to be intentional about the efforts I put every day, to raise my family, to invest back in things that I'm able to impact. I have the pleasure of living life with my husband, Cliff Davidson, a man that we partner in life with. We raise our children a certain way because we want them to grow up and be the inspirations we know they can be. We want our marriage to represent the possibilities of any home. So for us, it's all about starting with us. As we do the right things, we can tell people all the time, people talk about their faith. It's one thing to speak to someone and give them a quote from the Bible. It's another thing for them to look at your life, and your life speaks to the essence of who the God is that you serve. Amen. And so that's what it is for us. Let's be the example.
Yes.
Let's inspire people with the life that we live. And by doing so, we all will be able collectively to make the impact that we've been sent here to make. And so that's my thing. Do it. Yes, you can. Everywhere you're planted, education level does not matter. It comes with a heart and an intentional decision on a daily basis to make it happen.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Well, Michelle, I want to thank you for taking this time and sharing a lot of your journey with our public. And more importantly, the words of wisdom and the sincerity certainly kept travel with you and make you realize every dream that you have.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I'd like to thank you folks for taking the time to watch this interview with Michelle Berry-Davidson, and take a few of those pearls of wisdom, because the woman is sincere. She genuinely has and wants and will make a difference in lives, and you certainly armed our viewers with some tools to see them through their journey. So thank you for watching Africa Teach It, and we'll see you again soon.
Scully white back again, no. No most original. From my scopper he's working with scopper. I'll be back, girl. Back, girl. Me go take time. Anything great, they go take time. They talking shit, I go check on. Me mommy say, just take time. Take time. Me go take time. Anything great, they go take time. They talking shit, I go check on.